everybody, Sandman here. Today we're going to be picking a Schlage lock SC1 keyway. Let's break into it. So this is the most common keyway that I think you're going to run into in North America. We don't just see these on residential homes, we see these on commercial spaces as well. And there's a lot of different variances and models and different keyways that the Schlage is going to offer. So this is a really great place to start, and it's a yellow belt level lock. Some of you guys may have these on your front door. Please do not pick locks that are in use. You're not going to brick these locks by rotating that pin tumbler completely upside down. You're pretty safe on a Schlage, but let's not pick locks that are in use. Let's go ahead and just try to pick some of these up from either UHS Hardware, which is where I got these, or from your local hardware store. These are probably just like GMS cylinders or something similar to the fact. I think I purchased these at $5 each. I've spent $50 total for 10 of these cylinders. These are Mortise cylinders because they have threads on the side. A rim cylinder has no thread. A Mortise cylinder has threads designed to rotate or screw into a Mortise case. We see these in dead bolts now as well. So we're just going to use some of the most basic tools to pick this. We're just going to need a double-ended turning tool. I like to use a 1.3 millimeter. If you don't have this, then you're probably closer to a 50 thousandths tool. A 40 thousandths tool will work just as well, or a 1 millimeter. My three favorite profiles to use in the entire world, because well, I've just been using them for over a decade, is going to be a gym hook, a flat hook, or a lifter pick. For this particular lock, I prefer to use a gym style hook. Even though it's a slightly paracentric keyway, we're going to be picking off of the warding. We'll talk about that here in a second. And I like to be able to use what's called a clicky test. Similar to what we use in high security locks, we're going to apply that here for these very low security, very simple locks. So let's grab one of these cylinders and let's talk about those concepts. So this is a slightly paracentric keyway. Let me zoom in here real quick. So it is slightly paracentric, meaning that the warding slightly overlaps itself. So here's a non-paracentric keyway. Here's a slightly paracentric, or that would be a full-on paracentric. This would be a slightly paracentric. So it is slightly paracentric. That warding does start to cross over itself just a little bit, but not a ton. I can still get a pick here down the middle, but it kind of, do you see how it kind of skewers the tip of my profile off to the left? Not a big deal. We could go with a thinner pick, like a 0.4 millimeter or 16 thousandths. I'm using a 0.5 millimeter or around a 19 thousandths tool to do this. All I got to do is, instead of picking off the bottom here, I'm just going to pick off the side here, off of the warding, as we call it. We're going to pick off the warding. Alternatively, you can take a second turning tool and you can fill up the bottom of that keyway to keep your pick from falling into that warding. And that's a really great way of starting out and learning to lift that pick up to keep it from falling. I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to use proper control. Now, to get that proper control, I'm going to hold my pick just like I would hold a pencil, just like this, but I'm going to take my middle finger, I'm going to extend it out, very similar to the way you would hold a chopstick. So here's a pencil and here's a lockpick grip. What that's going to do is I'm going to make contact with my middle finger on the face of the plug, and it's going to control the position of my pick on the warding of this particular keyway for this lock. Let's go ahead and start picking some of these. We're going to use single pin picking, which is using the lifter hook instead of raking, and I'm going to use top of the keyway tension here with the shorter end of that double-ended turning tool, and I'm going to support my pick shank here so I can pick off of this warding, and we're going to do what's called a clicky test. The clicky test is where I take preferably a sharp-ended profile like this gym style hook or maybe a half diamond, and I'm going to I'm going to rub or scrape back and forth each pin individually so I can feel if it is binding or if it is springy. So, or if it's loose. If it's binding, then I want to set it. If it's springy, then it's not ready to be set. If it's loose, then that means it may already be set. So if it's hard, then that means it also may already be set. We'll talk about those two pin states in another video. But the first two pin states that we were looking for is springy and binding. The first pin here is springy, so I'm going to skip it. If I lift it, nothing happens. We're looking for the hard pins. Pin number 2, springy. Do you hear that clicking? That's the spring tensioning behind the pin, and the pin is dropping up and down as I flick it back and forth. That is the clicky test. Let's go with pin stack number 3, and that is our first binding pin. Okay, got to click out of number 3. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, nothing. Wait, nope, sorry, that was number 3. I was lifting. Number 3 was nothing. Let's try number 4. Hold on, let me get a little dip here. There we go. We got to click out of 4. Let's see if there's any other binding pins. And I do this little thing called speed bumping, not to be confused with the technique of bumping to bypass a pin tumbler, but or to pick. It's a type of manipulation. But anyways, we're speed bumping. I'm feeling for binding pins. I'm feeling for the hard ones. And when I can't feel it, go back to that clicky test. Okay, pin number 2, it's binding. So I think that was like pin 3, pin 4, then pin 2, or it could have been 3, 5, and 2. Let's go back in. Oh, pin number 1 is now binding. Okay, and we got an open. I have no idea if I hit pin 4 or pin 5. It's possible I hit pin 5 and accidentally set pin 4 in the process. Let's get another. Clicky test, pin 1, nothing. Pin 2, nothing. Pin 3 is binding. Gotta click out of 3, nothing on 4, nothing on 5. Let's go back to number 1, nothing. Pin 2 is binding. When I'm saying that there's nothing, sometimes I'll explain this and people still ask, what do you mean by nothing? I'm meaning it's not binding, it's not hard, it's just springy. There's nothing. There's nothing there for me to pick. Now, I just adjusted my hand and I heard a click. It could be that I dropped a pin. That's okay. We're just going to keep going. We're using process of elimination. That was pin number 4. Let's go back. Pin number 1 is now binding, I think. Yep, pin number 1. Pin number 3. Pin number 5. It may be the last one here. Oh, no, we got one more. Hang on. We're looking. And here's what I want you to do. If you cannot find a pin that's binding, that means we may have overset a pin. We're just going to restart. That's it. Let me back up here so I can stay in frame. We're just going to restart. That's it. So let's get this guy going again. Number 1, nothing on 1, nothing on 2. Pin 3 is binding. Okay, you got to click out of 3. Click out of 4, nothing on 5. Oh, 1 is binding. Nope. Let's go back to, okay, here we go. Nope, that's already set. Oh, here's pin 5. Okay, there we go. I have no idea what was going on with those first 2 pins. Let me show you another little trick. If your hands start to cramp, because this is a small item to hold on to, your hands are more likely going to cramp on small things than they are on the bigger things. You can go to Etsy and you can find creators that make stuff like this. I'm not going to provide a link down below. All you have to do is go to Etsy and type in locksport, and you're going to find things like this. And let's give this a try. We can see that we have these grooves here that help align the lock inside of a mortise case or a deadbolt, and I think that it actually has something to do with like screws or something. I don't remember what this has to do. I think, oh, actually you screw this into a mortise case, and then you have a set screw that goes in here to keep it from rotating any further, because if you insert a key, you definitely don't want that to rotate any further when you rotate the key. This has grooves in here that will lock on to our cylinder here. Let's see if I can get it in there correctly. There we go. And that just gives me more purchase to grab onto with my my left hand here. So I know this is probably cheating, but hey, whatever. This is our dojo, folks. This is the dojo. All right, pin number 1, binding. Pin number 3, binding. Pin number 4, binding. Pin number 2, binding. So that leaves number 5, I suspect. We're checking pin number 1 here real quick. Okay, let's go to pin number 5. And pin number 5 was the culprit. So a little bit less explanation there, a little bit quicker to pick. Let's go ahead and line these up. as we are slaying these. I like to do 10 at a time on the lower level locks to get the total feel of how to pick these locks, to get the mastery down, and to demonstrate the mastery. I'm a big fan of Lockpicking Lawyer and his older videos when he actually used to teach instructionals, and show people the technique on how to pick locks. He would say that he's like, it's great to be able to pick one lock, but can you pick 10 of those locks in a row? That's really a show of your mastery and competency of that particular lock or keyway. So that's what I like to try to do. Let's see here. Let's go with for 2. There we go. We got click out of 2, click out of number. Oh, we're lifting number 1. Excuse me. 2 and 1. I don't think 3 is ready. Let's go to 4, and let's go to 5. There we go. And we got an open. Funny story, I was a locksmith in 2010 in Colorado, and I was cutting a key for a guy. He had a Schlage SC1 key, and he just starts talking. He goes, man, I love Schlage. I love knowing that I have them on my house. He said, nobody can pick a Schlage lock. Nobody. And I said, I can pick a Schlage. And he just looked at me and he laughed and he says, no, you can't. And then he takes the key and he walks out. And my coworker says, we need to have a talk. And I said, okay. So she pulls me to the back. And keep in mind, every locksmith I ever worked with was absolutely crazy and insane. She says, don't ever tell a customer that you can pick their lock. And I said, TC, because that was her name. I said, TC, I'm a locksmith. That's my job to know how to pick their lock. And she goes, it doesn't matter. It instills a lack of confidence in them. And she goes, just lie to them and tell them that it can't be picked. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's fun to make little videos like this where I'm just slaying 10 Schlage locks in a row. Like, these are just yellow belt level locks. They can absolutely be picked. So pin number 2, pin number 1, pin number 3, pin number 4. Got 2 clicks out of 4. That was weird. And pin number 5. There it is, Sandman picking the world's most unpickable lock. All right. Trust me, I wish I was a better lock picker. I wish I could pick some of the higher security locks, but I'll take just being able to pick a Schlage any day of the week. I know I didn't do any talking in this particular one. We'll rectify that on the next one. But here's a good learning lesson. I'm going through, oh, what the heck was that? I just touched pin number 1 and I got an open. Let's start over on this one though. Let's say you're picking. Man, I can't get this thing to open. I've lifted all the pins. Well, what happened is you have overlifted a pin. So here we have a basic pin tumbler design. I'm going to lift. I'm going to lift, and I overlifted. And now, oh, it dropped. It actually did that. That's pretty much what I just did. So, but now I've overlifted it, and I'm applying rotational force. The spring here is a little bit too strong for this plastic chassis for me to replicate this, but this is overlifting. This is underlifting. This is set, and this is unset. So those are the 4 different pin states. If you're having trouble opening a lock, it's just not opening, all you have to do, my friends, is just let off on your finger and just release it. All right. So 3, 2, 1, 5, and probably inadvertently lifted number 4. I love this little thing. I could provide a link down below. Guys, just get used to searching Locksport whenever you go to Etsy, Amazon, eBay. You'd be surprised what you find. Pin number 2, pin number 1, pin number 3, pin number 4, pin number 5 is the culprit. Yeah, we got it. I was able to call it. I call my shots. How is this already a 14-minute video? That's terrible. Sorry, is anybody still watching? Go ahead and comment, abracadabra down below, so I know that you don't have a life just like me. No, they're just kidding. No, just so I know that you are my faithful followers and subscribers. All right, pin number 1, pin number 3. And guys, I'm not getting any feedback on anything else, so we're going to reset. Let's try this again. Now then, sometimes I insert my pick and I don't feel any binding pins. So what are we going to do? We're going to increase our tension here to try to get more pins to bind. Pin number 1. That's our first binding pin now. Pin number 3. Pin number 2. Pin number 1 again? Really? No, that's the tensioner. Don't make that mistake. That was pin number 3. Actually, the first time it was actually pin number 4. Let's go to number 5. And we got it. Sometimes it's easy to confuse 3 and 4 and 4 and 5. But that's okay. You're ballparking it. You're getting close. We have 2 left, and that'll be it. Has this whole video been blurry? Pin number 1, pin number 2, pin number 3, pin number 4, pin number 5. It opened like walking up a set of stairs. How great. How awesome is that? The most unpickable lock ever. Nobody can pick a Schlage. I don't expect people to know things, but I do expect them not to say dumb things when they don't know. I don't know. I do that all the time. Actually, I have 250 videos of me saying stuff that I don't know. All right, here we go. That's pin number 2. Why is there a weird hair on here? Pin number 2. Nothing on 1. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. There we go. And we got it. Folks, it's as easy as that. Not super hard. Not super challenging. Back up there. They are a lot of fun. They're really great to learn on. I just dropped it on my nuts and then it fell on my feet. Here we go. What you really need to do to pick these is you're going to just want a little bit, you're going to want some quality tools. Don't buy tools on Amazon. Don't buy tools off of eBay by using, dental tools and hoping that some lockpicks are going to show up or whatever. I don't know what people are doing these days. Just buy from a reputable manufacturer. You don't have to go with my favorite manufacturer, such as Multipick. You don't have to go to the description in the link or in the links down below and use the Sandman 10% discount code to buy the best lockpicks that are currently made in the world in Bonn, Germany by the world's greatest lockpick manufacturer, Multipick. You don't have to do that. You don't have to buy the highest quality tools at an affordable rate. You could just use Google and find whatever's local to you. But this is an international shipper, and this is definitely my favorite company because I am obviously sponsored by it. How'd you guys like that? How was that sales pitch? Was that any good? Was that pretty bad? All right, that's my sales pitch. Folks, let me know in the comments down below. Do you struggle with Schlage, specifically the SC1 Keyway? Should I take some of these and start adding some security pins in them now to make them more fun? I'm definitely going to be taking these to my Locksport meetup. I have a Locksport meetup this Saturday. I'm going to lock all these back, add them to my little tray here, and take them for all my lockpicker friends to play with and to compete and do all kinds of fun stuff. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys next time.